Hey YouTube, it's Arthur, and I think this is like my 11th week on testosterone, so I'm just 1 week shy of 3 months, and I don't have a whole lot to report in terms of changes. Generally, I have a lot more body hair. My happy trail is actually legitimately visible to other people's naked eyes as opposed to just my naked eye. My body fat pretty much rests completely on my stomach now. Like, I don't have any fat on my hips or back. My hairline, the corners are pulled back here. My hairdresser mentioned that when I was home for spring break. I just had to shave my face like this and this, like legitimately shave it for reasons for the first time. I mean, I guess obviously my voice is different. My acne has been getting really bad along my jawline. Like, I have some painful cystic acne that I mostly just deal with a lot of, like, washing my face, I guess. I don't know. There's really no way to get past it, and I think next time I see my endo, which should be this upcoming month, I'm going to talk to him about getting a prescription for an acne medication of some kind. Yeah. Hairy, pimply, manly. All in all, I can fill out most shirts now. Sometimes I actually need a medium in some shirts because I've shot up a couple inches. That's actually something that I've forgotten to mention before. If you are under the age of 24, there's a chance your bones haven't fused yet. They usually don't fuse until that time, and since I'm 19, I still have 5 years to go, and I've grown a couple of inches already since I started T. And most guys that I've talked to about this actually say that it's really only just near the beginning as your body adjusts to it, but still, I mean, that's great because I was kind of midge-sized, like below average, when I started T, and now I'm actually about the same height as your average male, just a little bit shorter. So yeah, that's that. A couple weeks ago, or rather, that was last weekend, shit, my fraternity was being audited by our province governor, and it wasn't for any reason like we were in trouble or anything. That just tends to happen. Like, it's an evaluation of performance, and it's done annually. And my private teacher for flute is our faculty advisor, and he talked to the province governor about my situation, and I guess the province governor already knew, and he just didn't care. So in this case, I think it's safe to say that I have a decent backing of people behind me. I mean, it's kind of intimidating at first to be the only trans person in a all-male fraternity, and by trans person I mean trans-identified male as opposed to female, because in my chapter of our fraternity we've had multiple men who have transitioned to become female, so that's a thing. But I guess everything's fine there. Like, it's mostly just an issue of people being confused, but once they get to know me, it's like, well, it doesn't really matter either way. So I guess that's reassuring. In other news, I got into a flame war on Facebook this morning over this whole matter of marriage equality, profile picture changing, like, you know, the red background with the, like, light red equal sign type thing. Yeah. So basically, I posted this picture, and you may or may not have seen it on Tumblr. I might put a link in the description below, but it's a picture of a woman on a computer, like, smiling and laughing, and it's superimposed behind the equal sign, and it says, well, I've done my part. And immediately someone with that as their profile picture commented, and they, like, completely flamed my ass. And their response was, like, totally naive, and it just so happens this is one of my good friends, and she is white, heterosexual, she identifies as cis, and, like, she's completely able, and, like, we kind of had a back and forth. Like, I wouldn't really classify as like a full-on argument, but there was definitely an undertone of like, ouch, you've insulted my opinion, let me just ride your ass for a few minutes kind of thing. And like, basically, in my mind, whatever it comes down to, you can change your profile picture if you want to. I don't care. This whole thing is like, it's whatever you choose to make of it. But in my opinion, the act of changing your profile picture in a campaign backed by the Human Rights Campaign, which not my favorite group of people, in all honesty, if you choose to do that, that's totally fine, but I find that measure to be incredibly passive when you could be signing petitions, which is equally easy. I mean, you just have to click on a website like change.org and it's like, surprise, you're done, and that actually shows up in the Supreme Court, whereas your profile picture isn't really going to. I mean, it's gained visibility, but it's like, at the same time, why don't you attend one of many events on campus geared toward this sort of thing, or, go to the town hall meeting on Wednesday, something like that, instead of just passively clicking on this picture. And she was like, well, I don't think most people are like that, like, they will continue to follow the cause after that. And I'm like, well, what happens after that? Like, people act like marriage equality is the biggest issue, whereas, like, gay teens sometimes can't even make it out of their teenage years. What's the point of marriage equality if they're not, And I mean, a lot of people think that this is a step towards acceptance and tolerance in the United States, but it's like, maybe it could be a platform for that, but there are far more pressing things. Like, marriage is not a matter of life and death. In fact, the institution of marriage is usually geared toward white, heterosexual, privileged people. Like, that's why gay people get so much amusement out of flipping the institution off quite often. And I mean, honestly, I don't even know what my stance on getting married is, just because it's like, I'm not saying that everyone does it. I'm not that kind of hipster. I'm not really a hipster at all. But I just feel like the whole thing is geared towards one particular group, and it's very standardized, and that's not fair to everyone else. So, yeah. I feel like that rant was very topical and not idea-based at all. La la la. Completely pointless. Lots of ideas. And I'm totally cooled down about what happened. Like, I don't really care, in all honesty. She's completely welcome to her opinion. I mean, it was kind of naive, but I'm like, whatever you like. Whatever makes you happy. All I know is that you could be doing a lot more, and why haven't you? So, I guess the moral of this stupid little rant is try to do more than sit back, If you're straight, be more active as an ally, and know that you can really only understand the experience of LGBTQ people if you get your hands dirty. Have a good weekend, guys.